The iPhone remains a massively popular device, and while the newer high-end models are very expensive, there are plenty of options for those looking to save money. So let's take a look at the best value iPhones. First of all, let's look at your options for an iPhone right now. The 6S, 6S Plus, 7, 7 Plus, and 8 and 8 Plus are all current phones, as is the iPhone 10, but the iPhone 10 and 8 are likely to be too expensive for those looking for a budget option. So let's look at the phones from the last couple of years instead. As well as age, with the older phones obviously being cheaper, there's another cost saving, which is to opt for a lower capacity device. The 6S and 6S Plus both have 16, 32 and 128 gig variants. The 16 gig 6S is the cheapest device Apple currently sells, so if you're looking for the lowest cost, then this is the device to go for. It's also worth considering that while the dual camera on the iPhone 7 Plus is great, the 6S Plus doesn't have it. For this reason, and the fact that the larger devices are more expensive, we're excluding the Plus models here. While the larger screen on the 6S Plus is nicer, it's not a big source of value. It's not really a cost saver, as Apple provides an adapter, but the iPhone 6S retains its headphone jack too. The adapter doesn't bother most people, but it's hard to argue that a standard jack is less hassle. Perhaps one minor consideration might be how clumsy you are. The iPhone 7 is water resistant, and that means that drops in the loo or sink won't spell the end of your phone. The 6S isn't water resistant at all. You might actually save money by buying the new water-friendly device. Both the 6S and the 7 have Apple Pay, and both have fingerprint scanners. On the 6S, the home button is actually a physical button. In the 7, it's not, being replaced by virtual keys. This won't make a practical difference to the phone itself, but the removal of the physical button does mean that the button won't wear out or break, an expensive repair if you have to do it. In terms of cameras, both are actually very close indeed, and while the newer camera is perhaps slightly better, the 6S is no slouch in the photographic department. So overall, there's not a massive number of reasons to go for the 7 over the 6S. In terms of speed, yes, there is a difference, and the newer iPhone 7 has more CPU cores and a higher speed processor. This will have an impact on app performance, but not as much as you might think. Apple is pretty good at optimizing older devices. So we say opt for the 6S with either 32 or 64 gigabytes of memory. While you can get the 6S with 16 gigabytes, that's not going to be the best option for most people. If you have a bit more money to spare, check out the 7, if only for the slight speed boost and water resistance. Whichever iPhone you buy, you can get it from Direct Mobiles.